Hey everyone, welcome to Makin Scents. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate seeing you here. And if this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome aboard. Today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Naughton and Wilson. And it's this guy right here, Gravitas pour Homme. Stay tuned. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about a fragrance from the house of Naughton and Wilson, and it's going to be Gravitas pour Homme. I'll put the bottle back up here again for you to see. If you've been here before, you can tell I'm trying to record from a little bit of a different setup today. We're going to try to go between this spot setup and where I normally film in front of my fragrance collection. Hopefully you enjoy this new setting as well, and I'll probably just continue to go back and forth just for a little bit of a change here and there. Today's fragrance was sent to me from Dan Naughton, also known as Mr. Smelly. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Again, trying to figure out this new setup. It's pretty cool because he has the embossed name on it right there as well. Actually says Naughton on the front, Wilson on the back, the logo. Again, I haven't used this setup yet to do these recordings, so I hope it works out well for us. Yeah, pretty nice, pretty clean. And as far as the scent goes, let's pop into it. Now, mind you, what's kind of funny is you pop the top off, which I do like the cap. It's a nice heavy cap. It doesn't snap on hard, so I don't really recommend picking it up from the cap. But the sprayer is silver, which some people will probably be like, why? That doesn't really make sense to them, but you never know. I don't really care about that part. It's a good spray. It sprays pretty well. Everything else is gold, so that might be why. I've heard that mentioned before. Let's spray it up. 2 sprays. Just to give an idea of what the actual scent is before I go crazy into it. It's definitely a Fougere, classic gentleman fragrance type deal. According to Gravitas, now where I'm sitting right now, I have a screen to my side. So for Gravitas, I'm going to read the accords. I don't know them completely. I know what my thoughts are on the fragrance already. So the main accords are aromatic, warm, spicy, citrus, lavender, earthy, patchouli, fresh, spicy, mossy, woody, and vanilla. A lot of different things. I'm going to jump down here for one moment. You have top notes of lavender, mandarin orange, bergamot. Middle notes are cardamom, coriander, and pepper. Base notes are patchouli, oak moss, vanilla, and ambergris. Now, for me, when I'm smelling these different attributes, I'll tell you right now, the one part that sticks out, and if you've seen a bunch of my videos that I've done in the past year or so, I've mentioned that patchouli starts to stand out to me for some reason. It just sticks out. I can kind of smell it. I think it's ever since I got Molinard patchouli that I was able to really identify that a little bit stronger or clearer. And then other fragrances started to stick out. And it's funny because at first I didn't know if I liked it. And as I continued to smell different fragrances with it, when they were blended well, I realized I really do like it. It's kind of, for me, it's like vetiver. It's a question mark. I don't always love it. Sometimes I really do love it. And when they're mixed just right, it's one of those, it's a big win for me. So on this one here, excuse me, if you don't know, again, Mr. Smelly is a fragrance reviewer. I think he has, he's one of the guys that I consider like an old schooler, but not like the original old school. He's been around for a long time, does a lot of fun videos, very energetic in different times, comedic and different stuff as well. I've only chatted with Dan like once or twice. I actually just reached out to see if I could buy a sample of this from him because I didn't, at the time, honestly, have extra money to buy a full bottle. And then I looked up, it's like $120 on Lucky Scents, so it's not even that bad. It's 100 ml. Price-wise, for what you're getting, it's actually pretty fair. It's not crazy out there, $200, $300. And on Lucky Scent, when I looked it up, it actually was free shipping if we put in like a code ship free or free ship or something. I'll put a link down below to Lucky Scent where I found it. So this one here, I have a dry down on my right hand, and I have the fresh spray you just saw on my other hand. And I just realized, I believe this new setup, we might be backwards instead of actually knowing what left and right. So I look like I'm mirrored the opposite direction. So let's go for it. For me, again, that patchouli, that's why I started talking about patchouli, because it sticks out to me in this fragrance. Classic Fougere. That's all I can really go with this. There's a little bit of spice. I can smell some of the, whether it's citrus notes or, I'm trying to think how to describe it, but there's something in there that's giving it like a bit of a fresh, not soapy fresh, but this is just a gentleman's fragrance. It's almost like a barbershop frag back in the day, or what you would consider a barbershop frag. It's rich, still bright, so it's not like a dark scent. The richness comes from some of those earthy notes, I want to say, whether it's the patchouli or the oak moss or whatever else is in there making that, that true fougere effect for me. I do think the patchouli is what sticks out the most. If the vanilla is there, it's getting overridden for me by the patchouli. There's a little bit of spice, like I said. The lavender you can smell, or whatever that smooth portion of the fragrance is. My guess is it's the lavender. A lot of times lavender is a really great element to add to any fragrance because it brings the richness up to a different level and it makes it somewhat smooth. So for me anyways, I don't know what your take is on it. I can't smell ambergris. I'm not really sure. A lot of times people will use something like ambroxan in place of ambergris. Ambroxan sticks out like a sore thumb to me a lot of times, unless it's blended really, really well. But this one, I don't really smell that. So maybe the ambergris is just doing what it has to do and making it a little bit sweet or tart or whatever whatever it does with this. The patchouli to me is what stands out. Let me go to my other here for a second. Yeah, so this is doing exactly what I remembered from the times I've worn it so far. It is a classic gentleman fragrance. That's about it. It's been sitting. I got it like 2 or 3 months ago. I lost my sense of smell, as I mentioned in the last video, for a little bit. Luckily, it's back. So for me, is this a nice fragrance? Yeah, it really is. If you are a fan of fragrances like Fougere d'Argent from I hope I said that correctly, from Tom Ford, or if you like the fragrances from George Zaharoff, things like that, where you get a really gentleman's fragrance, then this could definitely be in your wheelhouse as well. There's nothing bad about this to me. It's definitely a classic gentleman fragrance because it was gifted to me. I do hold a personal, grateful, wow, this is really cool fragrance. But if it was bad, I'd tell you that too, just being honest. And I did say that when Dan mentioned he was sending it out. But no, it's a very nice fragrance. It's gentleman, classic fougere. Is it everyday wear for me? No, it's not. I also like tuxedo, and that one's not, these aren't similar in a sense, but they are both gentleman frags in my opinion anyways, where they're classy. They're, for a night out or dressed up in a bit. You could wear this, especially in the fall. This could be a really cool fragrance, even spring, fall, because for me, with that classic fougere element, the cooler weather sometimes makes it not too much for other people around you. But it's not ridiculous. It's not like a stanky oud or anything is in there or anything like that. It's just a classic fougere fragrance. So if you like fougere fragrances, if you like the smell of gentleman, classy stuff, a little old school with a new school vibe, if that makes any sense to you. It doesn't smell like colognes that my dad would have back in the day on his counter. If he even had many. I remember just having a funky one. It could have been from Avon, who knows. But I do remember smelling them, and they smelled old to me. So there's something additional in this, whether it's the lavender, the way it's mixed, or even some of the other notes. Hold on, let me go back. Possibly the orange or bergamot or even cardamom. Maybe that's what it is. But that little bit of spice that's in there, there's not a lot of sweet to me, but there's maybe a spicy sweet mix, if you want to call it that, along with those earthy notes and that lavender just makes it a very nice fragrance. So performance wise, I used to get, in reality, there's very rare times that it is different for me, and it might just be my own personal DNA, it might be the way my nose works, that I get any different type of performance from many fragrances. So this one here, I can smell it wafting off of me in a sense, or some sort of projection for up to 2 hours, 2.5 hours. where it's, solid. I can still smell it when I walk by. If I breeze real quick, things like that. 2.5 to 4 hours. It is still not a skin scent, up to maybe even 5 hours. Maybe it could go to 6. I'm not sure exactly where that goes, because it's really been cold around where I am since I've had this. So that might not give it a fair shake. But let's say 2.5 to 6 hours is where it starts to go from projecting, and then kind of like turning to that skin scent mode from like 5 to 6 hours up to 8, maybe 7 or 8. I did smell it the next day after I had sprayed it on a towel. I don't know why I sprayed it on a towel, but when I first got it, I thought maybe my skin wasn't working properly or reflecting the scent. But I realized at the time my nose just wasn't working due to that cold stuff, COVID and everything. With that being said, would I recommend the fragrance? Yeah, I would. Is it one that is a must in every collection? I definitely think if you can get a sample of it, it could be worthwhile trying out that way. I don't ever tell anyone just to go buy a whole bottle. But for $120, 100 ml, if you are a fan of fougere fragrances, classic, gentleman, somewhat barbershop style, with something else in there. I just don't know. Whatever that extra thing is makes it smoother, because some barbershop fragrances just don't work for me. But this one here does. It's a nice fragrance. So well done. Nice job, Dan. It's definitely enjoyable for me. I'm looking forward to wearing it some more. All right, so that's a wrap. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. One more time, we're looking at this one right here. Gravitas Pour Homme from Naughton and Wilson. Gentleman fragrance. If you're a person that likes gentleman fougeres, this might be one to definitely get your nose on. As always, I recommend to try before you buy the whole bottle. If that's an available option, go ahead and do that, or get recommendations from different people that you have talked to or that you know that have the same similar taste as yourself. I believe Kingdom Fragrance is going to start carrying this soon. Good guy Steve over there. Also, Fragrance Fanatic is a YouTube reviewer. That's his company. So solid guy, super nice. Ordered from there myself. Lucky Scent, I'll put the link down below there as well. If there is an available link for Kingdom Fragrance for this, I'll put that down there too. Love supporting friends out in the community. And if they didn't do a good job, I wouldn't put the link down there either. So as far as the fragrance, I enjoy the fragrance. So I definitely recommend to get your nose on it if you're a fan of things like Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme, if you're a fan of Zaharoff Royale, if you're a fan of, what else? Creed Royal Mayfair, Creed Royal Water, Creed AC Aluminum. These are all, to me, gentleman classic fougere fragrances. Fougere d'Argent, I believe that's how you say it, from Tom Ford. Any of those types of things, if you're a fan of those, you could absolutely be a fan of this. Not to say that you'll love it or not. I don't know your personal opinion or take, but for me, it's a nice frag. And again, if I didn't like it, I'd just tell you that too. So if you get a chance, let me know down in the comments below. Have you tried this fragrance? Have you tried Gravitas Pour Homme? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you like about it? What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Throw those comments down below. I love interacting with everybody. I do attempt to respond to every single comment that I get down there. I love seeing everyone come in. I love being part of the community. So if you get a chance to, if you like this video and you like the stuff we're putting out there, please consider clicking the subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Coming back and seeing us would be awesome. And if you like this specific video, please click the like button. All of that stuff. I don't know enough about the back end of the system, but I believe it brings me higher for people to find me, like the bell button and all that stuff. I have to do more research on those things. But I like when people find the videos because it lets me interact with each and every one of you a little bit even more. So do me a favor, have an amazing day. And if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask down below. And remember, if you're making the world a better place, just one spray at a time, then to me, you're just making sense. Until next time.